Namaskar dear students. I am going to discuss questions and answers for the lesson ANURAGODAYAHA in this video. You know that through my channel I have been posting many videos on your second PUC Sanskrit lessons. Yes, I assure that in upcoming days I am also going to post videos on grammar as well as question paper discussion. If you did not subscribe my channel, kindly subscribe now only and press the bell icon so that you will get notification when I post new videos. Now I am going to discuss the questions and answers of ANURAGODAYAHA lesson. In my previous video, I told the summary of ANURAGODAYAHA lesson. Hope you understood very well. And kindly refer that video to understand all the answers. Now, let us discuss exercise part one by one mains. First main is Ekavakyena Samskrita Bhashaya Uttaram Likhata. One line answer. You have to answer in Sanskrit language. In your examination, in 100 marks question paper pattern, you will get first main as one line answer. You have to answer in Sanskrit language. Yes, from this lesson, what are the questions are asked? Let us discuss one by one. First question is Mahashwetayaha Pita Kaha. Meaning of the question is, who is father of Mahashweta? Answer is Mahashwetayaha Pita Hamsaha. Second question is Mahashweta Kam Prati Swavrittantam Katayati. Meaning of the question is, whom did Mahashweta tell her story? Answer is Mahashweta Chandrapidam Prati Swavrittantam Kathayati. Third question is Mahashweta Snatum Kutra Agamishyati. Meaning of the question is, where did Mahashweta come to take bath? Answer is Mahashweta Snatum Acchoda Saraha Agachati. Fourth question is Mahashweta Kim Ajigrat. What did Mahashweta smell? Answer is Mahashweta Kusuma Gandham Ajigrat. Fifth question is Shweta Ketoho Tanayaha Kaha. Meaning of the question is, who is son of Shweta Ketu? Answer is Shweta Ketoho Tanayaha Pundarikaha. Now, second main, Dvitraihi Vakyaihi Samskrita Bhashaya, Angla Bhashaya, Kannada Bhashaya va Uttaram Likhata. 2 or 3 line answers. We can write the answer either in Sanskrita or in English, or also we can write the answer in Kannada language. First question, Mahashwetayaha Vapushi Yavvanam Katam Padam Kritam. Meaning of the question is, how did the adolescence enter into the body of Mahashweta? Answer is Mahashweta. The description of the onset of youth in Mahashweta is found in the lesson ANURAGODAYAHA. Adolescence set its foot in Mahashweta's body just as the month of Chaitra sets in the spring season. A new sprout in the month of Chaitra, the blossom in the new sprout, the bee in the blossom, and intoxication in the bee. Second question is Kidrisham Kusumagandham Ajigrat iti Mahashweta vadati. Which type of fragrance Mahashweta smelt? She tells. Mahashweta told Chandrapida about the fragrance of some flower which she had smelt. That comes in the lesson Anuragodayaha. One day near Achoda lake, all of a sudden, Mahashweta smelt the fragrance of some flower which never she smelt before, carried by the forest breeze, murmurizing a group of bees which rushed towards it in competition and unimaginable in the human world. Next question is Pranamavasare Mahashweta Kidrishi Asit. How was Mahashweta while offering salutation? Answer is Mahashweta saluted the sages that has come in the lesson Anuragodayaha. At the time when Mahashweta saluted the hermits, she was attracted by Pundarika's handsomeness. She was staring unwavering at his lovely form. She experienced horripilation in her limbs owing to her strong desire to embrace him. More so, love entered into her body was followed by her being washed from head to feet in sweat. Fourth question is Pundarikasya Anuragam Mahashweta Katham Janati. How did Mahashweta come to know about the love of Pundarika? Mahashweta comes to know the love of Pundarika that has come in the lesson Anuragodayaha. Mahashweta was convinced of Pundarika's love for her when the newly entered god of love caused goosebumps in Pundarika and the rosary in his hand shaked as he was afraid that his vow of celibacy had been broken. Next main in this lesson is Pathanama Ulikya Kaha Kam Prati Avadat iti Samskrita Bhashaya Uttaram Likata. We have to mention lesson name and we have to tell who said to whom above lines. We have to write these answers only in Sanskrita language. First question is Tathapi Yadi Kutuhalam Tat Kathayami. If you are curious, then I will tell. This dialogue has come in the lesson Anuragodayaha, and this dialogue was told by Mahashweta to Pundarika. That's why we have to write answer as Idam Vakyam Anuragodayaha iti patat swikritam Mahashweta Chandrapidam prati avadat. Second question is Bhagavan Kimabhidanaha. Oh sir, what is the name? This dialogue was told by Mahashweta to another sage's son, that is Kapinjala. That's why answer we have to write in Sanskrita as Idam Vakyam Anuragodayaha iti patat swikritam Mahashweta Kapinjalam prati avadat. Third question is Pundarika iti nama chakre. They kept name as Pundarika. This dialogue was told by that another sage's son, that is Kapinjala, to Mahashweta. That's why answer we have to write in Sanskrita. Idam Vakyam Anuragodayaha iti patat swikritam. See, this line will be common for all the questions in this main. Second line, who said to whom? Second line, Kapinjalaha Mahashvetam prati avadat. Fourth question is Kimanena Prashnayasena. Why are you bothering by questioning? This dialogue was told by Pundarika to Mahashweta. We have to write the answer in Sanskrita. Idam Vakyam Anuragodayaha iti patat swikritam पुण्डरीकः महाश्वेतां प्रति अवदत्. Fifth question is धैर्यधना हि साधवः. Courage is only wealth for sages. This dialogue was told by Kapinjala to Pundarika. We have to write the answer in Sanskrit. Idam vakyam anuragodayaha iti pathat svikritam Kapinjalaha Pundarikam prati avadat. Next question is Kim mam anyatha sambhavayasi? Are you misunderstanding me? This dialogue was told by Pundarika to Kapinjala. Answer is Idam vakyam anuragodayaha iti patat svikritam Pundarikaha Kapinjalam prati avadat. Next main is Dashavakyehi Kannada bhashaya, Angla bhashaya, Sanskrita bhashaya va uttaram likata. 10 line answers. We have to write like essay, and we can write the answer either in Sanskrita or in English. Otherwise, we can also write the answer in Kannada language. First question is Kidrisham Munikumarakam Apashyam iti Mahashweta vadati. Meaning of the question is, how was the sage's son according to Mahashweta? Answer: the moment when Mahashweta saw that young sage's son, whatever the thoughts arised in her mind about him, those points we have to write. Your answer must contain these points. Please observe the points. The description of the son of sage can be seen in the lesson Anuragodayaha. Mahashweta describes the young sage before Chandrapida. Once Mahashweta went to Achoda lake for bath with her mother. There she smelt the fragrance of a flower and was attracted by the smell. She moved a little far in searching of the flower. At one place she saw a handsome young sage who had worn a bunch of flowers on his ear as an ornament. The young sage was exceedingly handsome. He was looking like very spring itself, performing penance due to the grief of the death of Kamadeva, being burnt by the fire of the third eye of Shiva. He was like the moon, which practices penance on the Lord Shiva's head to win entire world. He was like Kamadeva himself, penancing to attract Lord Shiva. He was adorned with the holy thread, which looked like a fiber of a lotus plant grown in the lake of his penance. In one hand he had a water pot kamandalu, which was bakula fruit shaped. In another hand he had akshamala rosary, the crystal of which looked like the tears of Rati, who was crying on account of Manmata's demise. He was an ornament of celibacy. He was like the meeting place of all Vedas. He was like youth incarnation of Dharma. He was like the month of Chaitra. His face was charmingly marked by the beauty of tilaka, holy ashes and flowers. He was also accompanied by another young sage who resembled him, who was of his same age. Thus, Mahashweta describes the sage. These are the points should be included in your answer. Second question is, Tapodhanam yuvanam drishtva Mahashweta kim achintayat. Having seen these sages, what did Mahashweta think? That second part of the description you have to write here in this answer. After having seen the young man, son of sage, whatever the thought arised in Mahashweta, we have to write in this answer. Points should be like this. After seeing the hermit, Mahashweta thought as follows: Lord Brahma has no end of material to create a man with extraordinary handsomeness. Even after creating Madana, who is flower weaponed, god of love, whose perfect loveliness causes all the three worlds to wonder, Brahma has created this second god of love. She thinks that when Brahma created the moon, which causes happiness to the whole world, the lotus, which are homes of goddess Lakshmi, he must have been practicing to create this similar face of the sage. Otherwise, what could be the reason of his creating similar things? These are the points to be included in this answer. Third question is Pundarikasya Janma Vrittantaha, the birth mystery of Pundarika. The birth story of Pundarika is told in the lesson Anuragodayaha. This story is told by Kapinjana to Mahashweta in Banabhatta's Kadambari. Mahashweta was so curious about Pundarika as she was fallen in his love. Knowing her curiously, Kapinjana, who was the companion of Pundarika, told this story to Mahashweta. There was a sage named Shvetaketu who was a resident of heaven. His handsomeness was praised by all the three worlds. Once he descended to the holy lake Mandakini to pluck lotus for worship. Meanwhile, goddess Lakshmi saw him. She was attracted by his handsomeness. By merely gazing at him, she consumed the pleasure of Kama and she got a baby boy on her lotus. She puts the child on her lap and said, "O honorable one, kindly take your child." Saying so, she handed over the baby to Shvetaketu. The child was named Pundarika as he was born on the lotus. Next question is Pundarika Mahashwetayoho Sarasa Samwadaha, the romantic conversation of Pundarika and Mahashweta. Once Mahashweta got the opportunity to talk to those sages. Later, whatever the conversation took place between Mahashweta and that handsome young sage's son, young man, that is Pundarika, the conversation is so beautifully explained in the lesson Anuragodayaha. Your answer must contain some points in dialogues. The young hermit Pundarika smiled gently and said, "O curious maiden, why do you trouble yourself with all this questioning? If you like sweet fragrance, have it for yourself." With these words, Pundarika approached Mahashweta and he removed the flower bunch from his ear and placed it on her ear. At that moment, he experienced horripilation. Just at the place where the flower was worn, owing to the pleasure derived from the touch of her cheek. He did not even know that the rosary was dropping from his hand. But Mahashweta caught the rosary before it reached ground and playfully put it around her neck as an ornament. She felt as she was enjoying the pleasure of being embraced by him with his arms thrown around her neck. Then he said to her, "O greedy girl, you should not go even a step further from this place." On hearing this, she removed her pearl necklace from the neck and saying, "O honored one, please take back your rosary." She left the place while the hermit was staring at her in vacant mind. Thus, the conversation between the young sage's son and Mahashweta is romantically formed in this lesson. Next main is Rekhankitani Padani Ashritya Prashna Nirmanam Kuruta. Using underlined word, we have to frame question line. First question is Gandharvadipatihi Hamsaha. Here the word Hamsaha is underlined. So answer is Gandharvadipatihi Kaha. Because Hamsaha, the underlined word is Pullinga, Prathama Vibhakti and Ekavachana Shabda. That's why question word will be Kaha. Second question is Ambaya Sahasnatum Abhyagamam. Ambaya word is underlined. Ambaya is a Strilinga, Tritiya Vibhakti and Ekavachana. That's why see the answer. Kaya Sahasnatum Abhyagamam. Kaya is the answer word. Next question is Bhagavataha Sundaram Rupam Asit. Here Bhagavataha is underlined word. That is Pullinga Shabda Shashti Vibhakti Ekavachana. That's why Kasya Sundaram Rupam Asit. Remember, please notice that for all the answer line, here in the end you have to put a question mark and your answer should be in one line. Next mean is Manjushataha Suktam Padam Chitva Riktasthanam Pureta. Using the words which are given in bracket, we have to fill the blanks. First question is Tayoho Ahamidrishi dash samutpanna Atmaja samutpanna dash Gandham Ajigrat Kusumam Gandham Bhagavataha Ashesha Tribhuvana Sundaram dash Asit Rupam Asit Anaya Anaryaya Nivaryatam dash Hridayam. Next main is Samyojayata. Match the following. Alankaramiva Brahmacharyasya Hamsaha Gauri Vilasamiva Saraswatyaha Pundalikaha Rushikumarakaha. These are questions and answers for the lesson Anuragodayaha which are given in our textbook. Kindly thorough all these answers, especially while writing in Sanskrita. Perfection is required. That's why kindly write and practice all the answers. I hope you will do so. And I will meet you soon in my next video. Until then, I would like to say you all Samasta Sadmangalani Bhavantu.